Hello everyone, and welcome to this webinar, Agroecology in Action, Stories from the Ground. First, let me flag that we have interpretation services into French, Spanish, and English, so you can click on the button located on the bottom right of your screen to select the language you prefer. So this webinar is organized by the Agroecology Coalition, which is a global network gathering more than 400 members, including governments, but also non-state actors, aiming at transforming the food system towards agroecology. Our work is guided by the 13 principles and 10 elements of agroecology. Next slide, please. So you can see that we created this infographic that is very interactive. So you can also have the description for each principle and elements. And so today we wanted to highlight how our members are implementing this principle and elements on the ground and in all continents. This members project underline the cross-cutting aspect of agroecology, which enables to reach diverse objectives, economic, social, but also environmental at the same time. So if we move on the next slide, 1 year after the release of Agroecology in Action Stories from the Ground, we are really pleased now to come back and to launch the second edition, which is the result of extensive discussions under the Agroecology Coalition's working group on implementation, which allows members to interact and reflect on lessons learned from the implementation of agroecology project and initiative worldwide. So I am really glad to now give the floor to today's moderator, who is Pierre Ferrand, Agriculture Officer at the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and also co-facilitator of the Coalition's Implementation Working Group. Pierre, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Amélie, and welcome everyone. So it's a real pleasure to be moderating this webinar for the launch of the new publication of our Implementation Working Group, which I have the honor to co-facilitate together with Andrea Gomez, Afshan, and Afshan Omar. So for those who may not know yet, our working group, we are one of the 6 working groups of the coalition. We meet monthly to bring field experience to light, sharing lessons and challenges from agroecology initiative worldwide. And our session, our space for collective reflection and learning, connecting practice with policies. So our new publication, Agroecology in Action, Stories from the Ground, is a fruit of this exchange and mark our second edition after last year's release. So this initiative, all the initiatives featured in this compendium are a powerful reminder that agroecology truly works, and all these contributions and much more are available on the repository of case studies on the Agroecology Coalition website. So if you want to access it, you can flash the QR code that is at the bottom of this slide. So this 2025 edition offers fresh perspective on agroecology is transforming life and landscape, and it explores in particular the link between agroecology, health and mental well-being, participatory guarantee system, natural veterinary practices, the inclusion of marginalized communities, water management, and the critical role of different legal frameworks that make transformation possible. So through these stories, we showcase the inspiring work of our members from 12 countries across continent. So from Asia, we have case studies from Indonesia, India, and Nepal. In Africa, case studies from Tanzania, Uganda, Ethiopia, Malawi, Kenya, and South Africa. We have Colombia from Latin America, and from Europe, the Netherlands and Spain, with a specific focus on Catalunya. So today we'll hear from Malawi, Colombia, and Catalunya. So lastly, before we dive into the 3 case studies that will be presented today, I would like to share briefly some key learning from our continuous discussion. So first, think long-term. So real transformation needs sustained program, not short project cycle, and to influence decision, to drive agroecological transition, and diversify diet and shift healthy behavior. Then join forces across ministries. So strong collaboration between health, agriculture, and environment is essential to achieve impact across health, environmental, and food system. Then empower local system. So decentralized approach often outperform centralized ones, especially in fragile rural economies, and tools like participatory guarantee system build consumer trust and improve compliance. Then adopt system thinking. So addressing food, energy, water, and waste together is vital to design integrated and resilient solutions. Then foster farmer-to-farmer learning. So here, peer, network, and farmers group accelerate knowledge exchange, innovation, and solidarity through shared resource and experience. Then recognize women leadership. Women safeguard seeds, nutrition, and traditional knowledge, making them central actor in agroecological and household resilience. Then bridge food assistance and agroecology. Solidarity-based support can ensure food security today while building sovereignty and resilience for tomorrow. Then making agroecology inclusive, because agroecological food products must not be a privilege. An inclusive model must combine production, distribution, and education to reach those most affected by structural inequality. And last but not least, strengthen local governance, because embedding agroecology in local laws and bylaws ensure accountability, continuity, and protection for smallholders. So after this short introduction, I'm delighted to introduce our speakers who will take us on a journey from Africa to Latin America to Europe. And our first stop will be in Malawi with a case study on Rooted in Healing, Permaculture Design for Improved Health and Climate Resilience, a grassroots approach, which will be presented by Afshan Omar. Afshan is an environmental expert and sustainable landscape designer that weaves both permaculture design and principle of agroecology throughout her work. So her work at local healthcare facility harnesses a system-level approach, developing regenerative landscape that connect nutrition, environmental health, and patient care, transforming underused space into living classroom and productive garden. So through participatory design and experiential learning, expectant mother, children and youth, staff and community members are empowered to cultivate food sustainably, restore biodiversity, and strengthen the link between healthy ecosystem and human well-being. So Afshan, the floor is yours, and you have about 10 minutes for your presentation. Over to you.
Thank you, Pierre. So while Valentina, I think somebody will be sharing my presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Pierre, for the introduction. So as he said today, I'll be talking about our work that bridges both agroecology and principled designs of permaculture at a local health facility, which is a community hospital in South Central Africa in Malawi. For those of you who may not know, we have some rising mortality rates where Malawi continues to experience some of the highest rates of maternal and neonatal mortalities despite increased facility births. We have fragmented care systems where things are not always working in multiple sectors together. So separation of clinical care, nutrition, psychosocial support, and environmental health. And resource and access gaps, which have really been a call for a need for holistic care. Next slide. So I'd like to introduce our case study that's focused on a public-private partnership based here in Malawi, bridging healthcare, education, nutrition for increased climate resilience. Next slide. Our target population here are expectant mothers, children, and kiddos that are malnourished, under 5, but also some children over the ages between 5 to 13, and our community and healthcare staff. Next slide. We're designed this solution as a way to address barriers in healthcare where women and children face delays in seeking care due to transport and infrastructure, low resources and amenities, and we've designed solutions to be able to address these challenges. Next slide. The solution that we've implemented is an integrated One Health solution that is built on regenerative frameworks connecting human, animal, and environmental health, utilizing both permaculture and agroecology. Next slide. So the solution takes a systemic health approach, integrating both permaculture and agroecology that I'll go into a bit of detail. It uses design components of permaculture and the principles of agroecology. Next slide. So in terms of integrating these solutions, we are bridging across nutritional care, access to education, implementing designs to create a positive environment with improved productivity and environmental stewardship. Next slide. We're addressing primarily maternal child health challenges. As I had mentioned, this is a public-private partnership between the Baylor College of Medicine and the Ministry of Health in Malawi. So it's a range and myriad of challenges, if you see on the next slide, ranging from poor wound healing, malnourishment, stunting of the body in under fives, low body weight, malaria, and a multitude of challenges that we have. So we've asked ourselves questions. Next slide. What can we do to address these challenges? What kind of meal could we create if we were to diversify? How do we integrate components of nature and remove the myth of healing foods being expensive and create a beautiful inspirational space that purposefully links humans and animals to their natural environment, utilizing concepts of agroecology? Next slide. We believe that everybody is deserving of a beautiful space, a respectful healthcare and healthy foods, combining health, well-being, happiness, and education, and achieving this sustainably. Next slide. Our approach links concepts of design to conservation, to creating a positive environment, education, and nutritional care, enabling food diversity, accessibility, affordability, and improved maternal and child health care. So what does this look like? We've created a positive environment. As you look at this next slide, it's an aerial shot of the project, and we've integrated aspects of renewable energy to address the challenges with accessing energy, water, food, spaces for our patients to stay, and productive spaces that both link biodiversity and edible species. Next slide. And this is through harmonious integration, where we do have a large focus on nutrition being the bridge of environmental and human health, utilizing both permaculture design and agroecology. And we have three frameworks that we're going by: the concept of One Health, so linking human, animal, and environmental health; permaculture and agroecology. If you go to the next slide, you can see that One Health is sort of the vision and the ethics. Permaculture is more of a design framework, and agroecology is the living practice that we have integrated. And it's all based on interconnectivity and building resilient and regenerative systems. Next slide. As you can see, we do try to constantly link through multiple aspects to be able to improve access in terms of food systems, environmental health, human health, education, all coming to the center of holistic care. And I've just broken this down into the concepts of One Health, permaculture elements, and agroecological elements. And for example, if you see in the next slide, we've looked at soil regeneration, diverse intercropping to be able to promote diverse diets, and community demonstrations where community members can come and learn how to implement some of these strategies into their homes and into their communities, but we can also learn from them as well. And this then expands into food forests and gardens, water management, soil health, water harvesting, and how to convert waste into resources as well. Our strategy has always been through on-site demonstrations and education, long-term programs that link feeding, nutrition, adolescent mother programs with awareness and distribution of tree seedlings and fruit tree seedlings and vegetable seedlings so that everybody has access to what they need, combined with follow-up. And these are just some of our outcomes over the past year. In 2024, we distributed 125,000 seedlings, a combination of indigenous fruit and bamboo seedlings as an alternative to firewood. We sensitized a numerous number of patients that came through, and this includes their guardians. We had about 96 agroecological focused classes throughout the year and prepared 18,200 meals. that are more dietary diverse and using the food as medicine concept. Next slide. We believe in sharing and expanding, so the communities are heavily involved in everything we do, from collaboration to educational initiatives. And this involves backyard gardens, community-based gardens, waste management campaigns, environmental education. And if you go to the next slide, you see that we are true believers in the power of demonstration at the facility, where patients can walk through the gardens, community members can walk through the gardens and see what diversity is like, what it means to take care of your soil, what it means to manage water within a space, and how to integrate components of biodiversity to increase pollination services and ecosystem services as well. The space becomes alive almost on a daily basis, with a multitude of interactions happening, combining aspects of growing the food, combining to preparing the food, consuming the food, and then learning about it. So taking an entire systems approach to nutrition within the healthcare space. Here you can see permaculture and agroecology both in action. We teach about working with the spaces that they have, integrating backyard and community designs, meal planning through the food that you can grow, tying in seasonality, and underutilized species as well. And this is something that we learn from our community groups. And if you keep going, you can see we tie in components of soil health, integrating livestock into your healthcare settings, integrated pest management, healing garden walks that kind of look at connecting us to the environment. And in this case, our patients, their children, the guardians, to the natural space that they have, and nourishing knowledge. So being able to utilize what we have at the facility and sharing it with the communities. And if you keep going, you look at the importance of education in terms of the nutritional benefits of the plants that they're getting, and how we are looking at informed and co-designed choices between the community members, ourselves, our patients that come in, and community leaders as well.
Just
we believe that
speak a bit slower for the interpreter, please, Afshan. Thank you.
Sorry, yeah. And in concept of awareness matters, everything is demonstrated on site to be able to then be implemented within households and communities. For example, how to build soil health, the integration of worms into your setting, what it means to do a backyard garden with diverse cropping, intercropping, utilizing principles of agroecology, how to cook the foods that you harvest, and how to layer compost within your household settings as well. If you keep going to the next slide. Keep going. And one more down. We do a lot of community awareness, working with community leaders and outreach based on the requirements that they have, but also what we're providing from a combination of human and environmental health, and targeted engagement to the challenges that are being faced in the communities. And this can range to garden design, to household design, and gray water treatment as well, including community gardens. And we truly believe in local partnerships, as it is a facility for the local community. And this just expands to backyard gardens and cooking demonstrations as well, and integrating diverse cropping into homestead gardens within a peri-urban areas. We've seen improved growth factors with our kiddos that are malnourished. We do weekly measurements of how their growth is improving. We have children that range from those that are have kwashiorkor, those that are stunted. Wasting is very low in Malawi, but it does occur. And then this also happens with our pregnant women, where we have healthier outcomes and improved mental well-being as well. We believe in designing sustainable programs. This program has been running for 10 years now, and we do have constant focused group discussions with every program that we have, and it's very response-based. And if you see on the next picture, we also have community-focused aspects in terms of tree cultivation, integrating species that are not only nutritionally rich, but also good for the natural environment and building soil health, including nutrition education and environmental education. Some of our conclusions and recommendations Pierre had already mentioned before, We do believe in a grassroots level approach. We believe in collaboration across sectors. Knowledge should be all over in terms of climate, nutrition, health, agroecology, and natural resources. Shifting dietary patterns requires a lot of time. This entire system requires a lot of time. And community goals, cultural practices need to be understood and integrated. And we do need to become over silos and the barriers that we're facing. And Pierre had already mentioned quite a few of these. And we believe in enabling conditions. Obviously, financing is a component of it, but there needs to be continuity. We're talking about One Health and planetary health as the design approach, and within there, both permaculture and agroecology feature very strongly. There has to be an openness to integration throughout the system, and it's very context specific. This was based on a need that was created within the city of Lilongwe, responding to peri-urban challenges, specifically maternal child health challenges, and productive women members of the society. We do need that stakeholder engagement needs to happen at all levels, and governance needs to include all levels, especially the grassroots. And just to conclude, we believe together we thrive. If you go to the next slide. Yeah, I think that's everything from me. Thank you for paying attention, and thank you, Pierre.
Thank you very much, Afshan, for this beautiful presentation. So we have a lot of comment already in the Q&A box. We will address this at the end of the three presentation. So now I would like to move to Colombia, and we'll have a case study entitled From the Land to the Table, Agroecology and Solidarity Against Food Insecurity, which will be presented by Andrea Gomez. So Andrea currently serves as Executive Director of Red CSA Colombia and Project Coordinator at Proyectar sin Fronteras. Both organizations lead initiatives that strengthen agroecological transition in Colombia, foster connection between farmers and market, advance participatory guarantee system certification, and promote gender equity in rural territory. So Andrea, the floor is yours, and you have about 10 minutes.
Hi, everyone. Amelie, can you put my presentation, please?
Yeah, Valentina is taking care of that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Vale.
Okay, thank you, Valentina. So I'm going to present you a work that we are doing in my organizations, that it's Proyectar sin Fronteras here in Colombia. Next, please. So I'm going to talk a little bit about us. So we are a nonprofit organization working in Colombia since 2007. And our main goal is to improve the quality of life of vulnerable communities close to Bogota, mainly in Cundinamarca and Boyacá municipalities. We focus mainly in agroecology transition, food sovereignty, and environmental education. We are part also of a bigger network that is the Bogota Region Agroecological Markets, where we collectively, this is a collective space where ONGs as us, but also an university and other groups, consumer groups, work together to develop a participatory guarantee system to recognize and support local agroecological producers and to empower agroecology processes in Bogota. We also have or had a market that was called Sembrando Confianza that started at 2012, but we decided in 2025 to merge with another local initiative known as La Canasta, expanding and reaching more consumers in Bogota. Next, please. So I'm going to talk about a program that it's his focus is mainly in food insecurity in Bogota. So a little bit of the context and how we start thinking about this was mainly because of the COVID context in 2019, where people in the most vulnerable neighborhoods in Bogota cannot go to work and to buy food. So we start thinking on how we can approach them and help them in these conditions. Next, please. All of this connected with a Colombian reality where displacement people mainly go to Bogota. The main causes are the violence that still are in Colombia, and Bogota is the main arrival point. So they came to Bogota and established settled informal neighborhoods that had limited access to healthy food, potable water, and secure housing. And all connected this with the COVID and informal employment, it started to be a bigger concern to us and how we can put it inside our projects. Next, please. So our main objectives in the projects are a strength agroecological transition and production to link farmers to markets. And then with this context, we introduced a new objective that was enhance urban food security and nutrition. And that was, and with this, we start a new program that was the Solidarity Basket program in PSF. We reached to different organizations to present our project, a bigger project, and we start this project. Next, please. In 2020, and since then we distributed 1,600 solidarity baskets, reaching 6,200 people. And this is like our leading is to bring people and access to food to answer to a structural food insecurity. Next, please. So I'm not going to talk about the other objectives or projects. I'm only to talk about this program. So we started to give people this community, these baskets, and we were also thinking on how we can do more, because we only were thinking about security, but we also want to strengthen sovereignty in these communities. So we also include a program that works with local cooks, and we started doing nutrition workshops that was mainly working in healthy and balanced diet rooted in agroecology, also activated taste memory through local and ancestral food from the Andean regions of Eastern Colombia, also showing people that it was possible to make nutritious food from with an affordable recipes. So our main goals was to make food more access to them, but also show that it was economically possible to eat well. Next, please. And also we saw in these communities that there were like places that were abandoned, and normally they put waste in these places. So we start thinking that we can reactivate these places and maybe start a community garden. So this is like the transition of one of our community gardens in a place that it's Tocaimita, it's the name of the neighborhood. And we start working with local communities to reactivate this place. It was not easy. This is an abandoned, a very abandoned region, and people that also are, their concern also are going out to their houses to work and bring money to their houses. So they doesn't have a lot of time to work in this, but we managed to do it and to help them. And this, the last picture is the result of that. And that was because we also knew that it was important to make food, agroecological food, more access to them. Next, please. So this is like the main goals of our project. So we think that food assistance and agroecology can work together. And in context with food sovereignty is not yet possible because all of the other context of violence, like I said, so solidarity-based action can foster food security while supporting agroecological values. So solidarity food baskets aren't just about humanitarian action. It increased the demand also for local production, because we buy all the food from local farmers that work in agroecology. So it also strengthens the economy of these farmers. And also we think that nutrition is not just about calories, because it is important that in the nutrition programs it's include local and regional ingredients, acknowledge the culture of the people that are receiving those foods, and also that the right to access healthy food regardless the income. Next, please. So the main goal of this program is making agroecological food more accessible to all. And we are now thinking, since the creation of this program, how do we ensure that agroecological food is truly accessible to all? Because in the urban context, we're only trying to make food, farmers make the connection that farmers sell the food in Bogota. But normally the cost of this food are expensive. Not everyone can have access to it. So we need to think about how we can reach people with low income and how we can help them to get access to nutritious food and agroecological food. So we are always thinking about this. And next, please. And this is all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Andrea, for this great presentation and highlighting the solidarity component. Now for the last case study, I would like to, it will be our final stop in our journey, and we'll hear from Catalunya with a presentation on the Sustainable Agricultural Program in Catalunya, presented by Anna Goutan. So Anna is an agricultural technical engineer and has been working at the Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fishery and Food of the government of Catalonia for more than 20 years. And since 2014, she has been the head of Agricultural Management Service, where she promotes the agroecological transition of Catalan farm to achieve an agricultural sector that is a benchmark for sustainability, adapting to climate change and mitigating its effect without compromising profitability or quality. So Anna, the floor is yours and you have about 10 minutes. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Thank you. Buenas tardes a todos y a todas. Es un placer hoy estar aquí con todos ustedes y poder compartir nuestro proyecto, Producción Agraria Sostenible. Me gustaría, primero de todo, presentar nuestro proyecto mostrando un vídeo que lo resume muy bien. Si por favor podéis compartir mi vídeo.
PAS, or Sustainable Agricultural Production Scheme, supports farmers and livestock breeders in adopting sustainable practices that ensure environmental, social, and economic viability. These practices are based on the FAO SAFA model and have been developed by experts from research institutions, the agricultural sector, and government bodies. PAR defines 2 technical standards, one for agriculture and one for livestock. These standards include a wide range of sustainable practices and a system to assess sustainability. At the heart of this system is the Sustainability Calculator, a free public tool that uses data from digital field logs and livestock management systems, along with a sustainability questionnaire. This combination allows for a comprehensive analysis of each farm's sustainability. The result is a detailed report that includes a sustainability profile shown in a graph, highlighting performance across environmental indicators. Key metrics such as environmental footprints, nutrient balance, pesticide use, and ecological infrastructure. A classification into 3 categories. A. Environmental excellence. B. Sustainable with active monitoring. C. Compliance with legal and good practice standards. Farms rated A or B can receive official PAS sustainability certification, helping their product stand out with a recognized guarantee mark. Ultimately, PAS aims to strengthen the sustainability of the agri-food sector in Catalonia by aligning innovation, research, and technology with practical tools for continuous improvement, adding value to local agricultural production and preparing the sector for future challenges.
Muchas gracias. Mientras van poniendo la presentación, comentaros pues, que el vídeo es una versión reducida porque no tenemos mucho tiempo, pero en la página web pueden ver una versión de 4 minutos que ofrece mucho más detalle y al igual la introducción también han tenido que ir muy rápido para poderlo escuchar en los que lo hemos escuchado en español. Si podéis poner por favor la presentación. Vale, muchas gracias. Me gustaría primero, en primer lugar, explicar por qué nosotros abreviamos PAS y no SAP, que sería la traducción directa de la inglés. Es porque en catalán PAS significa paso. Y para nosotros la PAS es el paso o los pasos para lograr la transición agroecológica de nuestro sector agrario. En resumen, la producción agraria sostenible, como hemos podido ver en el vídeo, lo que nos trae es un modelo de producción que promueve las prácticas agrícolas sostenibles y permite evaluar, clasificar las explotaciones catalanas, en este caso, que lo aplicamos nosotros, según su nivel de sostenibilidad, en 3 dimensiones: la dimensión ambiental, la económica y la social. Este modelo ofrece las herramientas al sector para facilitar esta transición para sistemas alimentarios más sostenibles. Uno de ellos, como habéis podido ver, es la calculadora de sostenibilidad. Es una herramienta gratuita donde todos los ganaderos y los agricultores pueden introducir los datos de su explotación y se obtiene, les da un informe de sostenibilidad. Este informe indica al agricultor el nivel de sostenibilidad de su explotación, detallando cada práctica agrícola y cómo puede mejorarla. Además, como habéis escuchado, también se está planteando una certificación pública y voluntaria para poder destacar todos estos productos que se han producido en estas explotaciones que tienen esta evaluación de sostenibilidad. Y lo que es muy importante es que es un carácter público, es decir, que responde al interés general y no a intereses privados. Y finalmente destacar que funciona a nivel de explotación, es decir, que no vamos a ver la sostenibilidad de un cultivo o de una parte de la explotación, sino a nivel general, porque podemos ser muy sostenibles en un cultivo en concreto, pero no en otros, y por lo tanto tenemos que valorar la sostenibilidad a nivel global. Si pasamos de diapositiva. Para ver nuestro cronograma, el proyecto ya tiene muchos años, empezó el año 2019. Del 20 al 22 estuvimos trabajando todas las normas técnicas, la agrícola y la ganadera, y los reglamentos y legislación que acompaña todo el sistema. Y no fue hasta el año 2023 que empezamos a diseñar la herramienta principal del sistema, que es la calculadora. Esta calculadora está operativa, se está utilizando y está operativa en la dimensión ambiental. A finales del 2024 presentamos la norma a la norma técnica a la Comisión Europea. Cuando queremos hacer normas nuevas las tenemos que presentar a la Comisión y la Comisión nos dio el visto bueno al cabo de 3 meses para poderla empezar a utilizar. Al mismo tiempo, solicitamos también la marca de certificación a la Oficina de Propiedad Intelectual de la Unión Europea, de la que esperamos recibir autorización próximamente. Y es en 2024 y 2025 que empezamos a utilizar el sistema, en total en 4.500 explotaciones agrícolas y ganaderas lo utilizaron y pudieron obtener su informe de sostenibilidad. Y de cara al 2026 se espera poder trabajar con los datos obtenidos para poder comparar explotaciones, que os lo cuento en un momento, y tener lista la marca para iniciar la certificación. Y la calculadora también en la parte social y económica. Si pasamos de diapositiva, vemos un poquito los resultados que hemos visto y las lecciones que hemos aprendido, ¿no? Aquí datamos los resultados del año 24 y del 25. Vimos que en el año 24 lo que hicimos es dar unas ayudas para que los agricultores que tenían frutas o que tenían cultivos hortícolas utilizaran la calculadora y sacaran sus informes de sostenibilidad. Y en el año 25 lo que hicimos es no solo darlo para los que tengan más del 50% en sus explotaciones frutales y hortícolas, sino que introducimos el arroz, los cítricos y los olivos. La verdad es que los resultados fueron muy positivos. En el caso agrícola, en el año 2024, más de 900 explotaciones y con más de 15.000 hectáreas de superficie hicieron el perfil de sostenibilidad, y en el segundo año casi 2.400 explotaciones y más de 49.000 hectáreas. Esta gente obtuvieron un informe de sostenibilidad, que es el que hemos visto en el vídeo, y es un documento individualizado para cada uno de ellos, que les dice cómo funcionan o cómo están a nivel de sostenibilidad sus explotaciones, pero a nivel individual, para cada productor. Pero nosotros a nivel de administración lo que hacemos es captar todos los datos de todos los productores y los analizamos globalmente para poder tener resultados de la sostenibilidad en nuestro territorio. Si pasamos de diapositiva. Con todos estos datos que hemos ido sacando de todas las explotaciones, podemos determinar el nivel de sostenibilidad agrupado por tema en la parte izquierda, en este caso sería el ámbito ambiental, o puede ser desglosado por cultivo a la derecha. En este caso solo tenemos, como era 2024, los cultivos hortícolas y los cultivos de frutales, porque eran los que teníamos el primer año. Entonces, lo que se puede ver es en qué aspectos tenemos mejor desempeño y para qué cultivos y cuáles no tenemos que mejorar. Y a partir de aquí, sacar políticas, medidas de incentivo, subvenciones, para poder ayudar a las explotaciones a mejorar el nivel de sostenibilidad. Es muy importante que los agricultores tengan sus datos de su explotación, pero también conozcan datos de sus iguales, de explotaciones que están haciendo y están produciendo lo mismo que ellos, porque si ellos tienen mejores niveles de sostenibilidad, eso quiere decir que hay camino para mejorar. Y entonces seguro que hay soluciones técnicas que las pueden utilizar en sus explotaciones. Disponemos ahora del estudio del año 24, y estamos haciendo el estudio del año 25. Si pasamos la siguiente. De los indicadores que hemos visto en el vídeo, veremos ahora en las dos siguientes los resultados globales de casi 1.000 explotaciones que hicieron el informe de sostenibilidad y en concreto para 2 de ellos. En la primera diapositiva vemos los resultados de la huella de carbono, ¿vale? De los principales cultivos frutales de las explotaciones del año 24. Porque lo que sí está claro es que cuando ellos hacen un informe de sostenibilidad, si ellos tienen frutales, más del 50%, pero también tienen otros cultivos, como el informe de sostenibilidad es para toda la explotación, cuando les da los resultados, pueden tener la huella de carbono de cada producto que están produciendo en la explotación. Para interpretar estos datos, aquí vemos los diferentes cultivos de los cuales tenemos datos y están repartidos en puntos negros, ¿eh? Cada punto negro corresponde a una explotación. No importa si esta está más a la derecha o más a la izquierda, esto es para que no se superpongan, pero lo que es más importante es ver dónde están situados los puntos negros a nivel vertical. Y luego los cajones, los cuadrados de colores, es donde se ubican el 50% de las explotaciones. Y las líneas rojas, la línea o las líneas, son los valores de referencia publicados y si hay dos, representan un mínimo y un máximo. ¿Qué vemos? En el estudio de datos que tenemos del año 2024 y para las explotaciones que digitalizaron sus datos. Pues que en general, en el caso de la huella de carbono, las explotaciones estudiadas tienen una huella de carbono inferior a los valores de referencia, lo que indica una buena eficiencia en el uso de recursos. Pero sin embargo, hay algunas de ellas que están muy por encima de los valores de referencia, lo que muestra un margen importante de mejora. Pero ¿qué es importante? Es importante que si justamente hay algunas que están por debajo, la solución técnica debe existir y por lo tanto tenemos que buscar y trabajar para que se pueda implementar. Si pasamos la diapositiva, es lo mismo que hemos visto, pero cambiando el indicador, en este caso sería la huella hídrica. La interpretación del gráfico es la misma y y lo que vemos aquí es que el valor de la huella hídrica está bastante por encima de la referencia en un gran número de explotaciones. Porque con este estudio lo que podemos determinar es que en muchas explotaciones deberíamos ayudarles a hacer un esfuerzo significativo para poder ahorrar agua. Y más teniendo en cuenta pues, los últimos periodos de sequía que hemos pasado en Cataluña estos últimos 3 años. Si pasamos de diapositiva y ya para finalizar, nos gusta ser un poco ambiciosos y poner nuestros objetivos. Nosotros nos gustaría mucho al año 2030 pues, tener más del 50% de la superficie con perfiles de sostenibilidad. Perfiles de sostenibilidad individuales y a nivel de departamento, pues nosotros poder hacer el estudio de los datos agrupados y que la paz, el sistema, sea escalable al resto de territorios del mundo. Es un sistema pues, que ahora está funcionando en Cataluña, lo hemos presentado en varios foros. Hay otras comunidades autónomas de España que también están trabajando con ellos. Por eso estamos hoy presentando el proyecto aquí y también lo estuvimos presentando en el foro de París por la Paz, que tuvo lugar hace 2 semanas. La Paz fue uno de los 30 proyectos seleccionados entre los 328 presentados. Si pasamos la diapositiva y para atenerme a mis 10 minutos, solo os dejamos aquí mucha información, muchos links, pero me gustaría acabar con algunas frases de reflexión, ¿no? Para nosotros la producción agraria sostenible es una propuesta para avanzar juntos hacia una agricultura y ganadería más respetuosa con las personas, la tierra y el planeta. La presentación de hoy es una invitación a unir fuerzas juntos, a escucharnos y colaborar. Para nosotros es importante y siempre decimos que tenemos que evitar los extremos. No todo es blanco, todo es negro. El camino es el consenso, es el diálogo y las decisiones basadas en el conocimiento y la experiencia, que está llena de conocimiento y de experiencia pues, nuestro proyecto. Y solo decir que para nosotras no existe un único modelo que funcione. De hecho, la Coalición Agroecológica está para mostrar todos los modelos que están funcionando. Para nosotros creemos que este nos funciona en Cataluña. Cada territorio tiene que encontrar su propio camino y en Cataluña, perdón, estamos desarrollando el nuestro y por eso lo hemos querido compartir. Hasta aquí lo que os quería comentar. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Anna, for this insightful presentation, and which triggered also a lot of questions in the chat. So you can check the Q&A box. Especially, people are asking the link to the calculator, because this raised a lot of interest. Before I open up to the question, and we are a little bit behind schedule, I just wanted to highlight three key insights from the three case study. So first of all, as I mentioned earlier, and this was really illustrated in the case study, agroecology deliver real measurable results. So we could see from reducing malnutrition in Malawi to strengthening farmer livelihood in Catalunya and improving food access for vulnerable farmers in Colombia. So these stories and all the others that are in the publication show that agroecology is not theory, it works in practice. The second aspect is really that solidarity strengthens food systems, and the Colombia experience reminds us that agroecology is also, and very importantly, about justice and inclusion, linking rural farmers with urban families and showing that food assistance can empower and not just provide. And last but not least, and especially reflecting on the case study from Catalunya, policy and data matters. So Catalunya's Sustainable Agriculture Program demonstrates how strong public policy combined with farmer-led innovation and data can institutionalize agroecology at scale. So overall, these three presentations today remind us that agroecology is not one-size-fits-all model, and I think this is what also one of the conclusions of Anna. It's a movement of connection. So between people and land, between knowledge and action, and between local reality and global transformation. So with this, I think many questions have been addressed already in the chat, but we have few minutes to open up in case there are some burning questions coming from the audience. So Amélie, there are a lot of questions regarding the slide. I assume that this will be shared after the webinar together with the recording and also the link to the publication.
Yes, exactly.
And there is Ralph Ruthert who wants to ask a question. I don't know if he can be unmuted. Yes, Ralph, over to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, thanks for those lovely presentations. Very insightful and very useful. I have a question for Anna. By the time the Catalan government started the PAS system, was there a choice to use the agroecological system as a concept, or what were the considerations to go for PAS as opposed to agroecology?
Buenas tardes. PAS es agroecología. Para nosotros la PAS integra integra prácticas agroecológicas, con lo que es lo que hemos dicho. Nosotros lo que hacemos es las prácticas que funcionan en nuestro territorio con conocimientos técnicos para poder avanzar y poder llegar a tener explotaciones más sostenibles.
All right, great. So it's just a matter of how you call it.
Thank you. Any other question? There is one question in the chat from Min Buin Van. Is the PAS certification government-led, and are there any plan to scale it up nationwide?
Bueno, la certificación PAS es del Gobierno de Cataluña. Entonces, si se puede ampliar a España, eso lo tendría que decidir el Ministerio español y nosotros somos una región. Pero sí que es cierto que el Ministerio sabe del proyecto, está interesado y hay alguna otra comunidad autónoma que vendría a ser a nivel regional como nosotros, que también lo está implementando. Pero el proyecto PAS es de Cataluña y es regional. De todas formas, lo que he comentado, estamos completamente abiertos a compartir el proyecto, porque si puede servir a otra gente, para nosotros, a otros territorios, hemos tenido también contacto con Italia, hemos tenido contacto con otros países que les hemos enseñado nuestro proyecto y si quieren utilizarlo, para nosotros no tenemos ningún problema. Estamos para compartir y para aprender juntos. Lo tenemos muy claro.
Thank you. Then we have a question from Christina Cambiaghi.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very quickly, question. My name is Christina. I work for the International Land Coalition, and of course, my question will be on land. And I want to know from you that are in the front line implementing agroecological systems, how much land tenure security is important or fundamental for you to be able to do a transition to agroecology or even to invest on agroecology. Thank you so much.
Who want to take this question?
Yeah, I think I can start, and maybe if Andrea and Anna have anything to add. It's such a critical component in terms of land tenure and ownership in implementing and integrating agroecological components because it is such a long-term approach. So it is critical to have that, but I know it's different in different locations. For us here in Malawi, in a peri-urban setting, land is very hard to come by. You have rental agreements, and if you're integrating agroecological components, and nobody wants to integrate them because of that. So it can be a challenge, but it is such a critical part of longevity. Yeah.
Yeah, I can complement that, from a Colombia perspective. Here in Colombia, it's very difficult to put it like in a project because here we doesn't know who is the owner of the land, and normally the farmers here doesn't have the document that show that they are the owners. So we try to focus the projects on the farmers that own the land, that are not like arrendado. I don't know the question, the word in English, but they are the owners, but not necessarily have to have the document that prove it. But that's our main goal.
Thank you. Anna, yeah.
En nuestro caso no tenemos problema de disponibilidad de tierra, además sí que sabemos cuáles son los propietarios, está muy bien documentado, pero sí que tenemos que luchar o que trabajar para poder conservar la calidad de esa tierra y además conservar que sea para tierra agraria. Lo que queremos es que se cultive y que no pase a formar parte pues, de tierra de energías renovables o otros tipos de usos que no sean los agrarios, porque tenemos que conservar la tierra que tenemos y que sea fértil.
Thank you very much. We are running a bit out of time, so I see that Sadito want to ask a question very, very quickly, because then after we'll move to the concluding remark. So there is a question from Sadito. No? Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
A brief question. I'm Sadito from Ghana. One of the problems we are having with agroecology has to do with the labor intensiveness. Is that a problem that you have faced in these examples? Because in upscaling, labor had been a big problem. Is there any any tools, simple mechanized tools that we can actually use in agroecology that you have come across or you are able to use? Thank you.
Bueno, en nuestro caso es ya un problema del sector y hay un problema de mano de obra y de relieve generacional. Es difícil que los jóvenes pues, se queden en las explotaciones y bueno, también tenemos que trabajar para poder dar una vida digna a nuestros agricultores. Lo están haciendo muy bien, los tenemos que ayudar a hacerlo mejor y además a visualizar todo el trabajo que están haciendo para poder dar comida, alimento a todos.
Yeah, I think I'll just echo as well as the initial steps for us were the hardest components, and even with the community groups, the digging of the hard pans, putting in the organic matter, layering any other waste that you have in terms of cardboard. That was the initial work, and then 2 to 3 years down the road, it became easier. So the initial 3 years, definitely very hard work to address the heavily degraded soils. But after that, it's decreased significantly in terms of not even having to layer large amounts of mulch anymore. So I think it's very dependent on where you are and the scale that you're doing at in terms of availability, even just of mechanization.
Thank you for the feedback. I think we are going to stop here because we are already reaching the end of our webinar. So now I'm very glad to invite our dear friend and partner, Irish Bagilat, the coordinator of the Sustainable Agriculture and Women Farmer Agenda at the Asian Farmer Association, who is also one of the core member of the coalition. So to deliver some closing remark. Irish, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you so much, Pierre, and greetings everyone from the Philippines. It's evening here, so to the rest, good morning, good afternoon. So thank you so much for giving the opportunity to the Asian Farmers Association to give the concluding remark. Indeed, it's a very insightful webinar. It's just for an hour, but the lessons, the inspiration, and the hope, that it can that the discussion created is tremendous, and we can see that in also in the question. So many uh, many participants are indeed very interested with what we have discussed. In AFA, we have 5 priority agenda, and one of the agenda is actually on sustainable agriculture or agroecology. It's one of the basis of unity why the Farmers Association in different parts of Asia came together. In AFA, under our agenda 2, we actually aim to produce diverse and nutritious food through sustainable, integrated, resilient, and agroecological farming system and practices. And the lessons that were shared during the past hour is very much useful for us in the Asian Farmers Association. And I'm sure it's not just in AFA, but also within the other farmers organization network. We resonate a lot with what the other organizations have just presented, and we I think it's a testament, and it's further bring evidence to what we have been advocating at the national, regional, and global level about agroecology, about how local food production, how the neglected, underutilized species, how women leadership are addressing some of the biggest challenges that we are currently facing. So we are grateful to the working group on implementation for curating such case studies, and also for selecting, these very diverse cases. So for the first presentation, I think what resonated to us in Asian Farmers Association is the holistic approach that agroecology can actually bring, and agroecology emphasizes. And one of the lessons that I particularly highlighted in the presentation is about grassroots level partnership and about village based intervention. And these are the things that we are currently advocating in AFA, and we hope that together with our other partners, we can actually create more local partnerships, more village-based intervention. It actually reminds me of what one of the members of Pakisama in the Philippines, which is a member of AFA, the Sulagad Farmers Marketing Cooperative, where because they came together, and and the government partners, and also the World Food Program opened up their procurement system, that the farmers organization were able to actually produce diverse food, and are able to deliver local food to the feeding centers. So the presentation you made is also evident in this part of the country. And I think it's when we really build a grassroots level partnership that we can achieve multiple outcomes, not just for the nutrition of the children, but also for the economic empowerment of farmers. And also on the presentation of Andrea, in India, our member Sewa is actually demonstrating what they call a Rudi Kamla. It's a rural distribution system which allowed them to procure from their farmer members, and they actually process these and then distribute them to informal workers in the urban area. So this is possible because of the organizing process and the empowerment of women-led enterprises. And lastly, on the presentation of Anna, I think what I got from that, and something that we also would like to do more, is the use of tools to be able to scale up models. While of course it's not the same model, but I think you have emphasized that we need tools to be able to have data in our hands, to be able to influence policies, and be able to actually scale up agroecological models that are working for farmers. Because you emphasize on evidence, including the economic. It's not just about the environmental sustainability, but also the economic aspect. Of course, we want in the end is a dignified livelihood for the farmers. And also you emphasize about how climate was addressed using this tool. And these are the things that we need as a farmers organization, engage at the global level, at the regional level, and also at the national level. And I think this is why we need to work together and actually co-create innovation that can address the multiple outcomes that we want for the environment, and also for the farmers. And yeah, I wanted to end with that. Thank you so much again to the working group for such for excellent case studies. And also, of course, the case studies will not be made possible if we don't have the people who actually did the work on the ground.
Thank you very much, Irish, for all this insightful remark and reflection on the different case studies. I would like to finish also with calling all the organization and people online who are not yet members of the coalition first to join, and also you are more than welcome to join our working group on implementation to learn more about initiative on the ground and to share also what you are doing. So Amélie, over to you for the last word, I think, and it's all for me.
Yes, thanks a lot to all the panelists and also to all the participants. I just wanted to flag that there will also be a French and Spanish version of this publication made available in a week. So you can already access the English one via this QR code that we are sharing, but also the link in the chat. And then I also want to invite you to register to our next upcoming webinar that we will hold on the 11th of December. And this one will focus on education and agroecology. So with that, thanks a lot, and hope to see you soon online in upcoming event. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye,
Adiós.
everyone.